Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So this is going to be a today's topic reading, and it is going to be for the 18th of June. As always, you can enter to win a free read with me just by writing the word compassion in the comment section, by being a subscriber to my channel, by giving this video a thumbs up. You do those three things and you are entered to win. Now, I choose at least one subscriber each week, and I actually have chosen somebody for tonight. You still get to enter to win. It just means that you'll be entering for the next 7-day segment. Okay. So stick around to the end and I will be doing that free reading for somebody. Okay. So, and I'll tell you who the name is and we'll go right into that free reading. I always do them publicly just so there's never any question mark about who won or anything like that. I like to be super transparent. Sad Embrace, card number 45. So for this, the today's topic reading for the 18th, we actually start out with card number 45, and it is, there is a sorrow. There is something, and it says sad embrace, but this person is hugging themselves because they haven't got someone to hug. And this is this is an enchanted little fairy, but they're pretty sad right now. They're pretty lonesome. There's an absence that they're aware of. So hold on. Let's take a look at this. Could this be a sad embrace, like someone is saying goodbye to somebody? And this is like, wow, this is the, I gotta kiss this memory goodbye. This may not, the reason I'm saying it may not even be somebody who's still there in front of them and present is because they are alone. Sometimes we give one last hug to something and we say, okay, I got to let this memory go now. I got to let this go. This could be a hope of like, I wished that this person would have come back, or I wish that we could have made it, or I wish that this had happened, but I got to quit wishing for that because wishes don't make it so. And I have this whole life to live and my life is enchanted. Remember, this is a little enchanted fairy. So this person has a lot of magic around them. This person, no matter who they are, they may be 45 years old. Maybe 45 is an important number. Maybe it's on the clock. It's, whatever 45, 9:45, whatever it may be. But there's something here about someone they're acknowledging that sometimes the things in life that don't work out, it does hurt. It does. But does it mean that our life is not still wonderful and is not still magical? Not at all. So we have an Emperor in the upright and we have a Page of Cups. Well, this person has to give that sad embrace and let it go because they have something freaking amazing on the horizon and it's coming in fast. This is the final goodbye to a dream that is not something they can carry with them anymore. But remember, look at the color tones here. It's so blue. This is a blue, meaning sad little fairy, right? I am blue over this. I'm hearing Elvis's song that he sung that is Blue Moon. He did a great cover of that song. And it's amazing because a song is about finding someone who comes in, right? It's Blue Moon saw this person being alone, and we even have a full moon up here. It's almost like the lonely days are over, but we have to actually let go of the lonely days. And that is one of the things. It's a sad embrace. I got to let go of a dream that didn't come true. But we don't realize the reason we've come to that breakdown, meltdown moment. Somebody's having a meltdown here. And it's because they're making room for this amazing stuff that's walking in. This Emperor the Emperor is who we marry. The Emperor is the real deal. And this is a fresh start with the real deal. A Page of Cups is a brand new beginning. It's someone who walks in right when we sniff away our last tears and maybe we still have puffy red eyes and somebody knocks on our car door as we were sitting there crying one last time in our car before we said, I'm not going to shed any more tears over this. I cannot. Maybe we just saw a picture of our ex and they're in a happy new relationship. We go, it's over. It's really over. And there's not going to be even a final conversation with them. This is over. This chapter is over. I have to release this. And I got to let myself cry one last time. And right as we're done and we're like, okay, that's it, self. It's time to let go. Somebody knocks on our car and it's some hottie saying, hey, I saw you crying. You okay? And that's our new love. That's the person who walks right in the second this sad embrace is over. So there's a reason for this meltdown. There's a reason for this sorrow, and the moon saw it all. The moon is it's working in our favor. The moon is what we don't see. And granted, this isn't the moon card, but the moon factors in prominently in both of these. Do you notice? We have something happening. And of course, we've just had, the full moon. So this could be, and full moons are great times for like significant shifts, right? We clear out some energy to bring in fresh. So I'm wondering if this is not a wonderful time for full on meltdown that releases energy that had been stagnant. We've got this 9 of Cups in the reverse. Here's the thing, this 9 of Cups, because 9 of Cups can be a wish fulfillment for sure. It can also be overindulgence. It can also be, in this case, bit of illusion because it's a genie, and we had to figure out which of those 9 cups is the genie in. We might have been very hooked on the idea that my wish fulfillment is in one of these cups with that person, but we never seem to rub them the right way. Whoever we're letting go of, whatever dream that we're having to surrender, it's actually like we're realizing now, maybe that wasn't my wish fulfillment. Maybe I was always trying to make it work. I was always wondering, did this person love me? Are they happy? What more can I do to make them happy? Why do I never feel like I've rubbed this in the right way? Or maybe I'm realizing that whole situation didn't make me that happy after all. Yes, it hurts that it's over, but there's a new sense of reflection. Tell me about the Emperor. Tell me about the Emperor. Well, the Emperor is our 10 of Cups. What else is behind that? Ooh, the Tower. Anybody who knows my channel, I love the Tower. It's one of my favorite cards. I like change. Change happens when we've been stuck too long and we got to get out of our rut. Change is hard. It's scary. And that's why the Tower is not a fun card, but it's a productive card and it represents freedom. And sometimes we don't know how stuck we've been until we lose something. And then we go, wow, I was afraid of that. But now that it's gone, I got nothing to lose. My fear is gone over that thing. And it makes us more bold and it makes us more powerful and it makes us more adaptable because life is all about, it's not really about getting comfortable. It's getting comfortable with how adaptable we must be. Everything is about constant change. So if we're trying to find permanence in a world that is literally not even our globe stands still, our globe is constantly moving. How can we say the only way I'll ever feel secure is if I have something where it never changes, it never moves, when that would defy the very planet that we stand on? So to instead become comfortable with the fact that we're going to change over and over and over, we're going to face tower after tower in this lifetime. But we can look at it more as like, all right, what's next? What's next? How am I going to grow now? What new happiness am I going to get as a result of this change? Instead of saying, oh my God, I'm losing my happiness. This person allowed themselves to let go of a dream that they'd had. And was it sad? Yes. And they allowed themselves to go through that meltdown moment of that sadness too. And it immediately was replaced with the thing that the universe said, baby, this is why I changed it. You weren't that happy. You'd only had a 9 of Cups. You weren't even at a 10. Now you get to experience a 10. And let's not forget, you have 9 of Cups in the reverse. The more you reflect, the more you realize, that didn't even make me happy. That made me stressed. This is what happiness feels like. Holy smokes, this was worth it. This was worth the upheaval. This was worth me sitting there crying in my car one last time, seeing that an ex has moved on with somebody else and they're happy with somebody else and they're never coming back to me. You know what? Best damn thing that could have happened. It's over. And that's the only reason I get to meet this incredible person. This incredible, like in this case, it is someone that I can really grow with. It's a new kindled romance with somebody who is fabulous. I get an opportunity to actually have a 10 of Cups. I only just now realize I never had the 10 with that person. That person caused me stress. They caused me grief. They caused me heartache. They caused me to be sad. Why would I want someone back who makes me sad? I want somebody who makes me happy. But I didn't realize in order to have that, this had to change and this situation had to end. So we have a supreme cathartic cry followed by this huge revelation, followed by this, I almost want want to celebrate or something. Like, it is such a complete shift of like energy, shift of emotion, shift of I want to keep saying that seeing that the dream is has died makes us realize that dream it wasn't even a dream. It was like an illusion, or maybe it was even a nightmare now that we have a new perspective. So a dream that we had, after we lose it, we reflect on it so differently, and it's like, actually, that would have been a nightmare. This is the good stuff. This is that 10 of cups coming in. Okay, I'm digging this. Sorry, I know my hair is a disaster. I've been busy in the garden today. So 3 of Pentacles. We finally have real cooperation. This is the difference. Instead of being out here blue and alone and hugging only our own knees for comfort, we have real cooperation with a real live human being who we're learning with, we're talking to, we're having fun. This is the mega change, major, however you want to say that. This is the incredible change. And it is so worth it. It is even worth the hurt that we went through to let this thing go that isn't for us after all. We've got a 6 of Wands in the reverse, and we also have an Ace of Swords in the upright. We also have given up on the idea that, okay, so I feel like somebody had been punishing themselves quite a bit, also feeling like, God, not only, did somebody not choose me, or maybe that ex went with somebody else, or, they're not coming back to me and this dream has died and I'm all alone. They might, for a long time, have actually been punishing themselves, saying, look at what a lack of success I am. Look at how nobody wants me. This is like, why did I ever think that? That's not even where my success was. Why was I ever measuring my success off of that? My success is, am I happy? This is truth, and this is passion, and this is what I'm going after. This is how I measure my success, not by those other measuring sticks that I was using once upon a time. That was so wrong. This Ace of Swords is not just about truth. It's about, well, you can see everything is flaming all around it, right? An Ace of Swords it's logic. It's our thoughts that are now clear, but our thoughts are clear about passion and about what we genuinely want. And I almost think that our lead character is kind of chuckling to themselves. So they go from having a meltdown, crying, feeling like a dream is lost, to meeting somebody freaking amazing, to then contemplating, oh my God, I realized I was never even happy with that old situation that I was crying over and feeling it was a loss. And then they also realized something about the way they were measuring themselves was not correct. Why was I thinking that I had somehow failed? I wasn't even happy. The only person I was failing was me. Having a partner that doesn't want to be with me is not me failing at partnerships. They weren't making me happy either. That was the wrong measuring stick to use to measure my success. And somebody is having this huge breakthrough, this huge revelation. This is super positive. It's really good. Is there anything else to talk about with the I just want to keep this one short and sweet, because to me that is already such a complete thing to think about. There's so much to think about here. We've got the 3 of Cups in the reverse, and we also have the 7 of Swords in the upright. Wow. So when we think about this new person, this Emperor, we are realizing that it was not ever even really in the cards that we could have had success with that person of the past. Now, we didn't recognize it until when we meet the real deal. It's an obvious difference, right? Think of it this way. For example, this looks like a red top in this segment of the fabric, right? And it's actually not. If you saw it next to red, you would recognize that this is actually a kind of a weird combo of it's a little bit more orange tone than it is red. But in this lighting, I know it looks red, and because it's against tan and it's against salmon, and it looks more red, but it's not real red. If you saw it next to red, you would see the difference. That is the equivalent of this. When we're standing in front of the real deal, when we see a real emperor, we go, holy smokes, that person from the past, I was lying to myself thinking they were my emperor, giving them that title, when in fact, we were never going to reconcile. They were never going to be truthful. This was never going to be something that would have worked out, because the truth of it is, they were not trying to reconcile. They were not my emperor. They were always, I mean, in this case, it was a lie that either we told ourselves or it was that they lied. And those things would have made it impossible for us to ever have that happy union. But again, we didn't really recognize the falseness until we were able to compare it next to something really amazing. Just like you think this is red until you see it next to the real color red, and then you'd be like, oh no, that's not red. That's rust orange, brick reddish. It's more in the orange family than in red. But you can't tell because you don't have anything to compare it next to. That's what this is all about. This emperor is like, and it's not that we should have to meet an emperor necessarily before we know this, but it's kind of like that. I mean, how would you know that this isn't red unless you saw it next to a different shade of true red? Sometimes we have to have some comparison to make. But looking around, this doesn't have to be something where it's like, oh, great, so I have to wait until I meet some amazing person before I can recognize why, this isn't anything for me to cry over after all. Sometimes we can meet someone else and we can say, well, that is an amazing person. I admire them. And they could be married to somebody else. But we go, that is a quality of person that I actually want to be with. That's not who I was with. I wasn't with that person. Now I'm thrilled I'm single because maybe I'm going to meet another one of these, or maybe I wasn't setting my bar high enough, or maybe I wasn't trying to attract the right person. I want the right person. To me, this looks like it is a fresh beginning because this is a new romance with an amazing person. So I actually do feel like it's a new person where once we meet that new person, it becomes very, very clear. And it feels like it happens fast in this storyline for this character. But my point is, sometimes, because not everything is about romance per se, right? This could also be about, heck, that could be about jobs. We lose this job and we go, oh my God, this job is not going to work out, or I'm never going to get that, to move up into that next upper echelon, or I get laid off or whatever. And it's like, wait a second, I wasn't even happy at that job, but I didn't know it until I found this other job and this other boss who's so great and treats me so well. And now it's like, thank God that all happened the way it did. So very nice energy flow on that. We go from a sad embrace to like the greatest tower of our lives, because it actually shows us we didn't even have an actual 9 of cups. We had a reverse 9 of cups, and now we get the full on 10. Very beautiful. All right. So that ends that particular storyline. So now, you guys, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Remember, all my stories are always just fictional stories about fictional people. Thank you guys for liking this video. Thank you for hanging out with me. So now for the free reading. So this week, the winner is Joe. That's all there is to the name, is Joe. And so, Joe, thank you so much. As always, thank you everybody who hangs out with me. And if you guys want to stick around for Joe's reading, you can, or you can click off now, whatever you wish. But Joe, my dear, thank you for your good vibes. Thanks for hanging out. As I start this storyline, remember, this is a story for you, but it is not about you. I'm not a psychic. I can't tell you anything about your real life. So please remember, this is always just entertainment. I can't give you life advice. I don't attempt to. I don't have any special gifts or skills. This is purely for fun. So please, keep an open mind that this is a fictional story that we're going to create in honor of you, but it is not to tell you how your life is. All that being said, we're going to use all the creative storytelling tactics there are. So I will begin by saying, what is the energy that surrounds Joe right now? What's the energy around Joe? 10 of Cups? Really? And I went with the Tarot of the Divine because I wanted to go with something that has lots of different, like international flavors and stuff, which I don't know why I chose that. So I don't know if something international is of particular interest to you. But this is an international deck with tons of international folklore associated. So as you can see, the energy that surrounds you is one of great potential for true abundance and happiness. Happiness that blends different elements together. Now, this doesn't have to be about marriage, although it certainly can. This can talk about the energy that you're cultivating is to bring in things that are different because you actually see the value in things that are like skill sets that you don't possess. So you attract friends or you attract lovers or you attract a particular person who is very opposite you in many ways because that is an area of interest. It's like, this is so, I appreciate this person so much because they can do things I can't do. This is the quality of person that is represented here is someone who sees others' gifts and says, that is an amazing compliment to my life. I'm not jealous. I am grateful that I met this amazing person. And so that kind of vibe that you give out to somebody makes them feel more valued and valuable. And it fosters this really incredible, like emotionally satisfying bond between people. So this can be, it is about emotional satisfaction, and this can apply to any area of life. Obviously, we do see a union of marriage here. So it can also be something like that. This can talk precisely about two people from different cultures coming together to be married. This can just simply talk about blending, and everyone is, we're all so different and so unique. It doesn't matter if you lived on the same street from each other. Families operate differently, therefore we can have very different backgrounds no matter if we came from different cultures or not, but still it's about blending opposites and creating more abundance because of it. Yes, this can be purely about romance, that you are fostering something amazing. This can talk about like marriage and the whole nine yards, whatever that looks like to you. It doesn't have to be traditional marriage because it's more the marriage of the souls. It's more the happiness that comes with you are my, you put in your 5 cups, I put in mine, and together we make this. And now we're holding hands and we're facing life together, and it feels so good and it feels so balanced. That's what this looks like. So the energy around you is one of bringing things together for emotional satisfaction, but it could definitely pertain to really happy relationships also. But again, it's a direct result of the way someone behaves and what they foster, which is really nice energy. So very beautiful. And then interestingly enough, we have the 3 of coins in the reverse. The other part of this is, in order to have this great happiness, we do have to decide where not to hemorrhage our energy. 3 of coins in the reverse says, I'm not going to cooperate with this group of people or with this particular person because I'm going to cooperate where this is going to happen, where there's emotional satisfaction. That is my benchmark for, which situation do I want to be in? I want to be in this happiness, which means I may need to surrender putting time and energy into something else. This can also be, I've been working really hard on my solo projects or in my work, and now I want to actually shift my attention to my love life. I want to shift my attention to the things in life that give my different types of satisfaction, because 3 of Pentacles can be work also. And it could be like, I don't want to work all those extra hours because I want to spend time with the people I love, the people dear to me. So this is definitely a redistribution that we see. And it's a thoughtful redistribution because we're going for the 10. We're going for pure happiness here. Why not? And we have Hanged Man in the reverse, and this is Sleeping Beauty. This is the true kiss of love that wakes her up. This is no more delaying my personal happiness. So I kind of am starting to feel like, did you put your love life off on hold for a long time? And now you're like, I'm going to go ahead and let myself enjoy this. I'm not going to look at love as a job, or I'm not going to work so much that I don't ever allow myself to go out and have fun with people I care about. And, keep in mind, this can be love in many different ways. This can be platonic. This can be familial. This can be romantic. But basically, it's about emotional fulfillment that I want to reawaken to. I don't want to sleep through my life because I'm always busy working. I really want to go ahead and allow myself to be awakened again to all these pleasurable things in life. Certainly, we're leaning heavily toward it being a romantic perspective. Like, I want to give myself a chance to date again, to love again. 8 of Swords. This 8 of Swords energy is a pretty big shift because somebody on the periphery is sitting over here in a cave feeling like a donkey. This is somebody who feels very stuck and they feel very foolish. This is not, you notice how we've left the kind of open atmosphere that we've been in, and now we're in a cave. This is, if if there's any of that energy for our lead character that we're talking about, there is some little area in the back of our lead character's mind where they go, God, I feel foolish that I held back for so long. But I'm inclined to say this is a totally different person, somebody who's hidden away, somebody who's off on the periphery, and they think about, this could be the person we're no longer working with, and they may be feeling pretty darn foolish about the choices that they made. Let me get one more on that Eight of Swords character. Could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, doesn't have to be. We have the Magician. Now we've got Virgo, Gemini. This is starting to look to me like either we are chiding ourselves a little bit, saying, I feel so foolish that I held myself back from happiness for so long because I really have the ability to make my life happy if I want it to be. This could also be someone who is saying, man, I'm sitting over here stuck and I'm watching you manifest, because we already know the energy that surrounds our lead character is one of pure happiness. It's one of joy. It's one of, I'm not wasting another moment of my life. I'm going to manifest. And so I kind of feel like this is somebody who's watching you in this. I mean, this is our fairy godmother who is, bibbity bobbity boo, making life happen for us, which is really, it's just us changing our perspective, making things happen. But we have somebody who I think is sitting here almost like they're aware that you've changed something major in your life and you are shining brightly and you are having emotional satisfaction, and there's something reawakening in your life. And I feel like someone's feeling pretty foolish, stuck over here because they're not a part of it. That's what it looks like. And they're very acutely aware of how much change and transformation. They may even hear about this. They know that this is happening for our lead character. And it's like, I can't believe I'm not a part of that. I'm over here in this cave outside of the castle walls. Meanwhile, our Sleeping Beauty is waking up and their life is going amazing. And I'm feeling pretty foolish about this. All right. Tell me something out of the past that is factoring in right now. Eight of Wands. So communication, action that was taken. This is communication from the past that might be like someone from our past or something like that that's showing back up in our world. This is a desire to talk. This is a desire. I mean, this person's coming in flaming, right? We've got this flaming bird. What is it about? The Hierophant in the reverse. And this is from the Lakota people. This is the white buffalo woman. And so she's a powerful medicine woman. But in the reverse, and of course, this is the Hierophant. So, Taurus energy, but a message is coming in. This is also heavily influenced on our dreams as well. But a message from the past or from my past person may have something to do with either a broken connection. This could be an ex. This could be someone we've divorced. This could be the kind of message that comes in, though, that has something to do with a lack of healing. Either somebody is racing in because they have an urge to try to heal something that was left in I want to say it was left frayed and fragmented. And I feel as if it wasn't handled properly. And I feel as if someone would like to try to heal something. Maybe they even have had a dream about this and they're like, I really want to heal this. This is something from my past that resurfaced into the forefront of my mind, and I really feel like this is unfinished business that I'd like to heal. Tell me about the present. Present, we have the Lovers, we have the Six of Wands, came out a little bit sideways but mostly upright, and then we have the Knight of Coins that was entirely sideways. So both of these had just a bit of a tilt, and this one was completely horizontal. So in the present, it could be a bit of a shock that, on one hand, a wonderful shock, though, because there is a transformation going on here. We have the Lover's card, but this is a story of Beauty and the Beast. This is where we keep seeing transformational love stories here. We see, two different cultures coming together. We see a Sleeping Beauty reawakening to things. We see the Magician, which is our fairy godmother, transforming things. Now we have the Beauty and the Beast. Love is transforming things. Love keeps being the motivation in this whole story for what is changing your life in such a positive way. And it is directly a result of what you're choosing, right? In this storyline, our lead character keeps choosing to say yes to positive forms of transformation. And in turn, let's not forget that that Gemini energy, that Lover's card, that is also a choice. So they're choosing to allow love to transform them, but it could also be, remember that past seems to be coming in to try to heal something that was unhealed. And we have a message of, we might be faced with more than one suitor at once. I don't think it's going to change our choice though, because I mean, yes, it could be a feather in our cap. Like, wow, I can't believe, like, I made choices to choose my own happiness. I made distinct choices to not cooperate with somebody else because instead I really want to be happy. I am happy. My life is transforming. And now in comes somebody from my past who would like to heal something. Maybe it was an individual who was very rigid in their mindset with that Hierophant, because that can also represent like real rigid beliefs. We also still keep seeing things about cultural differences possibly as well. These two are different. The 10 of Cups is different. And even with the Hierophant, there could be cultural significance here. But it feels good in this case to recognize that, wow, so I have more than one person who thinks I'm amazing. I have more than one person who'd like to be with me. That still doesn't mean that I'm going to say, okay, let me slow things down with this partner because I need to think about this other person who just showed up. And it also doesn't mean that I'm going to like immediately cut somebody off either. This is more like, well, the choices that I'm making in my life, I've already set things in motion and I'm content with the motion that I've created because these were my choices, right? But life does have a way of throwing interesting things into the mix. So it's more like this awareness, this contemplation of like, well, that happened. This person has shown up. This person is saying that they're interested in me, even though I'm already with someone now and I'm loving the direction my life is going. And this is not going to derail me at all, but it's maybe there's a reason for our interaction. So I might just pause long enough to have a conversation with this person, but it's not going to redirect anything because I'm in charge of the direction that I'm going and I'm choosing transformation based off of love. Okay, so upcoming future then. Let's go ahead and look at that. We have a 3 of Cups. We have a Queen of Swords. We have a King of Cups in the reverse. And we have a 4 of Cups. So any way we slice it, what we see is celebration, happiness. And we also see someone who has good boundaries in place, even though we still see someone who is, somebody knows that they missed an opportunity. That's what it looks like. This, instead of choosing this real bird that was out there singing, somebody was distracted by these very elegant but fake birds, right? These are just, trinkets that are shaped like birds. The real bird was outside singing. This, unfortunately, this dragon, which by the way, dragons represent dreams also, this King of Cups, they're realizing that they missed out on a dream come true. They missed out on the real bird. This is a disappointment where it's like, wow, I can't have the person that I want because she's put up boundaries and because she's having a great time wherever she is. She's in a world full of celebration and love. Now, again, this isn't gender specific. It doesn't matter what gender we're talking about. But this is, like I said, we're telling a story for you, but not about you. This is about, our lead character, who I sometimes refer to as quote unquote you, because it's kind of like a choose your own adventure story that I tell. But what we see here is the energy that you have created is one of every step I take, I'm going to be choosing happiness. I'm going to be choosing to welcome that in. And that's going to transform my life. And it's going to be noticed. It seems like we have this reoccurring theme all throughout this, that there's a particular person from the past who knows that they messed this up with their chance to be part of your present and your future. And it just kind of looks like that is an underlying story that is still here. But I have to say, it's not as if it's like, good, I'm glad they miss me. And now I feel better about myself because they're hurting over me. It's not that, but there is a certain amount of like, maybe a sense of, well, good, I'm glad that someone recognizes that they did miss a good thing with me. They did. I'm I'm somebody of value, and I'm glad that somebody realizes that. It doesn't change anything because, again, I'm all about transformation and love and someone who's there for me. And this is someone who's been there for me. This is like my life is different now, but it is interesting that something from the past is resurfacing that kind of just gives us that, I'm going to say, a sense of fulfillment, maybe, that it's maybe been long overdue, that someone actually reached out to try to heal things, or at least said, I have regrets. I see that you've moved on. I see that your life is amazing, but I just want you to know that I have regrets because this was a dream that I had to be with you. And I realize that now. And it's a dream that I blew it. I didn't go for the real deal. Maybe I got lost on other things that, took my attention, and that's a regret. This could have been anything. This doesn't have to be about a romantic partner. This could be about a friend who didn't invest and then they didn't make it to our wedding because they were busy doing something else. And they're like, how did I miss attending your wedding? Why wasn't I there? I missed my chance and I really should have been there. This could be about, a family member who like wish they had been a bigger part of our lives, or even a good friend who's just like, I should have been there for some important moments in life. And those are the things that I regret, especially because this is the Hierophant card, and that can pertain to career, that can pertain to spiritualism, that can pertain to belief systems, that can pertain to love and romance. So it's very broad as to, this thing from the past that seems to pop up about wanting to heal something. But what's interesting is the fact that somebody wants to heal something, that alone is healing. That alone is something that gives us that cap on our feather that go, it's crazy to have all this coming at me all at once. But because I'm manifesting love and good vibes, it's not a surprise that there's celebration. There's people from the past who want to heal stuff. It's because I'm a magnet right now for good stuff. And so apologies even, and, accolades and people saying that, hey, I really wish that I had spent more time with you, or I really realized that, you're amazing. And that is a regret that I have that I didn't tell you sooner. Those are all acts of love that are coming toward our lead character because our lead character has chosen to wake up to the idea that they can be a massive attractor for all of this incredible stuff and all of this loving energy because they're open to it and they're actively manifesting it. So kind of a cool story, just because everything is, what you're a magnet for right now is everything from apologies to new love to, better circumstances, because we're letting go of things that were just draining us and we're just focusing on the positive. And when things show up unexpectedly, again, it's not like, okay, now maybe I should run around and do this. It's like, no, I realize this shouldn't be unexpected because I keep attracting good things into my life. Apologies, caring, love, all these things. It's not a shock that these things come toward me because I'm the one calling it in, because that's the vibe I am operating in right now, in a 10 of Cups attitude. So really cool. It's, I guess the main thesis of this story, I would say, is the positive energy flow that we put out can attract a ton. Like if we have that attitude of gratitude and all of that positivity and that, I'm not going to be asleep, I'm not going to delay, I'm not going to be unaware of the positive things. When we're like in a mood, it's like all kinds of little details that we would have not noticed on a day when we were grumpy or sad, we notice. And so everything in our life is like, wow, look at that. Like this part of my day went so good and I'm so thrilled about the details. And then pretty soon, like, that's all we are focusing on. It's really about where our perspective is. What are we paying attention to? We're paying attention to good stuff. We're going to notice a lot more good stuff. But it's interesting because it keeps snowballing to where it's like pretty soon lots and lots of like positive influences keep coming in. So anyway, that's what I've got on that one. I hope that there's some message in there. I had fun with that one just because I like the idea that you snowball in good ways. But anyway, take good care of yourself. And I send you lots and lots of love. Bye for now.